welcome to It's Tomorrow News. I am Hena Talati. Today let's discuss on one of the world's biggest cities may be just months away from running out of water. Mexico City, a sprawling metropolis of nearly 22 million people and one of the world's biggest cities, is facing a severe water crisis as a tangle of problems including geography, chaotic urban development and leaky infrastructure are compounded by the impacts of the climate change. Years of abnormally low rainfall, longer dry periods and high temperatures have added stress to a water system already straining to cope with the increased demand. Authorities have been forced to introduce significant restrictions on the water pumped from the reservoirs. Several neighborhoods have suffered from a lack of water for the weeks, and there are still 4 months left for the rains to start. Politicians are downplaying any sense of crisis, but some experts say the situation has now reached such a critical levels that the Mexico City could be barreling towards the day zero in the matter of months, where the taps run dry for the huge swaths of the city. Densely populated Mexico City stretches out across the high altitude lake bed, around 7,300 feet above the sea level. It was built on a clay-rich soil into which it is now sinking and is prone to earthquakes and highly vulnerable to the climate change. It's perhaps one of the last places anyone could choose to build a mega city today. The Aztecs chose these spots to build their city in 1325 when it was a series of lakes. They built on an island, expanding the city outwards, constructing networks of canals and bridges to work with the water. But when the Spanish arrived in the early 16th century, they tore down much of the city, drained the lake bed, filled in the canals and ripped out the forests. They saw water as an enemy to overcome for the city to thrive, said an architect and a coordinator director of the Ground Lab, a design and policy research organization. Their decision paved the way for many of the Mexico City's modern problems. Wetlands and rivers have been replaced with the concrete and asphalt. In the rainy season, it floods. In the dry season, it's parched. Around 60% of the Mexico City's water comes from its underground aquifer, but this has been so over-extracted that the city is sinking at a frightening rate, around 20 inches a year according to the recent research. And the aquifer is not being replenished anywhere near the fast enough. The rainwater rolls off the city's hard, impermeable surfaces rather than sinking into the ground. The rest of the city's water is pumped vast distances uphill from the sources outside the city in an incredibly inefficient process, during which around 40% of the water is lost through the leaks. The Cutzamala water system, a network of the reservoirs, pumping stations, canals and tunnels, supply about 25% of the water used by the Valley of Mexico, which includes Mexico City. But severe drought has taken its toll. Currently at around 39% of the capacity, it's been languishing its historic low. In October, the country's National Water Commission announced it would restrict water from the Cutzamala by 8% to ensure the supply of drinking water to the population given the severe drought. And just few weeks later, the officials significantly tightened restrictions, reducing the water supplied by the system by nearly 25%, blaming extreme weather conditions. Measures will have to be taken to be able to distribute the water that Cutzamala have over time to ensure that it does not run out. Natural climate variability heavily affects this part of the Mexico, and 3 years of the La Nina brought drought to the region, and then arrival of El Nino last year helped deliver the painfully short rainy season that failed to replenish the reservoirs. But the long-term trend of human-caused global warming hums in the background, fueling the longer droughts and fiercer heat waves, as well as heavier rains when they do arrive. Climate change has made droughts increasingly severe due to the lack of water. Added to this, high temperatures have caused the water that is available in the Cutzamala system to evaporate. Last summer saw brutal heat waves roll large parts of the country, which claimed at least 200 lives. These heat waves would have been virtually impossible without climate change, according to the analysis by the scientists. That's all for now. For more weather news updates, stay tuned with us. It's Tomorrow News. For more global weather updates like this, subscribe to our channel and hit the bell icon for regular updates.